Nice to be prepared.
There you go.
It's country style, you know.
Yeah.
We don't really have
Do you know what you're being fined for?
I don't know, general vagrancy.
Look at this attitude. Look at him. Tying his shoelaces as we speak. Alright, well.
Tell him what he's being fined for.
In a
So,
non-motorised convoy without the proper...
I think Sergeant just asked me. Right. So, an illegal turn with, you know, look at all these vagrants that you're hanging out with. Who are they? Suspicious behaviour. Okay, bike defect. Number of tyres. Don't even know if there is a tyre on that bike.
All right.
I'm going to write 0.
Defect there. It's going to get quite a few fun.
NA, no number plate. Brakes. Number plate. What are your brakes like, mate?
It's very squeaky.
Squeaky. All right, I'll leave you that to Bone. Do a good job. You're doing a good job.
Thanks, Sarge. Thanks.
Now, what's happening over here? Another fine. What did you do? You are
Illegal turn.
illegal.
Unwilling to cooperate in their conversational manner.
Okay. Extra fines for you.
Absolutely.
Walking down the street.
All right, we've got footage of this. Yeah.
Zero wheels.
Tick. Other.
Just gets worse and worse. I'll leave you with that. You're doing a good job there, mate.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Yeah, you can get some good footage. Got you. Yeah. Get me away from them. All right, how'd the fines go there?
Yeah, $1 million to Georgia.
Good one, yeah. And how'd you go?
We're still in negotiations.
All right. See how the bribes go, eh?
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so what's your name?
Alright, so hi everyone, I'm Claire.
Yeah.
And yeah, welcome. You're here at Alpha House. It's an artist cooperative. I think I recognise some faces. Some people have been here before. I don't know. And for the people who haven't been here before, you're about to discover a little pocket of Sydney that's quite interesting.
Interesting also means dodgy.
So yeah, there's 28 people who live here, and there's 13 houses, and this place started originally it started up the north end of King Street in the Alpha House building that's up in the north end. That's still got the Alpha House sign up, but yeah, there were people who were living there. Yeah, people were renting there, and there were rental increases, and there was like a bit of disruption. I think some people who were there decided that they didn't want to pay an increase in rent, and so they had a bit of a protest on paying rent. And then also other people who were asked to leave. It was a really big warehouse, so different situations, but other people decided not to leave. And so there was a bit of resistance there for a while, and two kind of organisations came out of it. Alfalfa House, which is the food co-op, came out of that, and also Alpha House, which is a housing co-op. So it ended up being a really big struggle, and lots of political movements where people decided that they wanted to lobby for affordable housing for people in Sydney, and so they ended up lobbying a Labor government and got $1.6 million to have housing. So this was in it started in 82. Actually, maybe come upstairs because it's raining. Yeah, cool. And then it changed to a Liberal government, and they just held on to the money. And so a couple of people, people from the original Alpha House up on North King Street they had to kind of lobby, and they ended up contacting the
Ombudsman.
The Ombudsman, which is a very difficult word to say. But they contacted the Ombudsman, and they had to do lots of campaigns to get the money released. So it took years. It took I don't know what the official amount of years, but it's like between 8 and 10 years to end up getting that money released. And the government decided to build these buildings purpose-built. Well, when they were going through this struggle to get the money out, the collective organised themselves to be an official cooperative, like a legal cooperative, which was the first housing cooperative it was the first housing cooperative in New South Wales. So that was really massive. And then this place was built. So it has a gallery, and it has a studio, and an internal courtyard. Yeah, but
And how many people does it house? How many of those dodgy people?
yeah, well, it's 28 people.
28 people, all right.
Yeah, so it's quite a lot of people, and there's also the gallery is used quite a lot, as a way of life, and as opposed to kind of squatting or something like that. It's much more bureaucratic. There's a lot more paperwork, and there's a lot more things that have to be done to be able to keep the buildings and to be able to live at low rent. And it is at the lowest rental at this place. It's like can be like $75 a week. It's a certain percentage of your income. So I mean, for Sydney, that's really great, and it's created a community of people. Yeah.
Obviously, to set up a legal establishment.
Definitely not.
Really?
Yeah, but it's actually quite interesting
Dodgy.
that in the beginning they nearly lost a court case because Sydney City Council were trying to kick them out. They said one of their sort of strongholds on their case was that people were squatting, but they were saying that it was actually a rental strike. And so there was some complications in the law in the case, and then the Sydney City Council didn't win the case to kick them out as squatters, and they ended up kind of carrying it through and getting the money. So the studios are actually like when they built the building, like even though the original people decided that they wanted to, they'd work with architects to build this paradise with the 1.6 million, the Department of Housing and the government were like, oh no, it has to be something that we understand, and so this is deemed a garage, and it was built as a garage, but yeah, they couldn't quite handle doing a purpose-built studio.
There is a dark room in there.
Yeah, so there was a dark room built in.
So that's a drug room? Code word.
So it does have a reference to chemicals in here, doesn't it?
Chemicals,
So,
all right. I'll just get some of that
make a note of
evidence.
that one.
Chemical at alpha, yep, and another code word, paint.
Yeah.
All right.
Pace,
that.
read, speed.
Cool.
You have to keep talking because it's raining and we don't want to go. So.
Now we can look around the studios if they want.
Oh yeah, take a look at the studios. This is Gawa. Gawa is that studio over there. He'll be.
We've got suspicions that
How
there's
much is a
drugs
gram of
here.
paint nowadays?
People want to buy paint. It's obvious that it's drugs, All right, we'll start dishing out some fines. We've issued out quite a number of fines here. They're dealing chemicals, they're dealing paint. So we've given each member here a $500 fine, which they don't seem to care about because they're making quite a profit here. What do you think about that?
I think it's a disgrace.
Disgrace.
Cooperative.
They don't seem very
We
cooperative around here.
cooperate. We sell drugs to people,
Yeah. All right.
It's working well for us, isn't it?
It could be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
no, after you.
Thanks. A legal enterprise is what this place is projecting itself as. Interesting. How legal would you say it is?
2%.
2% legal. So there you go. That's something that you can all aim for. Maybe you can all become 2% legal. Start up a little cooperative. Good luck to you.
All right, so if you start up a co-op, we'll be here to evict you, and let's move on. All right.